just my heart to hear both of them. I grew up on Lionel Richie, and so, when he sang that, it kind of touched my heart. But the words, if you didn't understand them, I love what they say, because he says that, when the world is filled with thunder, then we wonder, where's that light, where's that love that we have, and that we have the light that will guide us to this magic of love within us. And that's kind of what we're talking about, is that this light of God, it's a light of spirit, is there to guide us, to the magic of love. And then each of us express love out in the world in a whole different way. And I thought to myself, when I saw this picture, I love this picture. I cried when I saw it, because I've kind of followed the Ferguson stuff, and it's just has broken my heart, And when I saw this picture, I kind of read the article. It was an image that was shown in the Oregonian in Portland, and the photographer wrote about it a little bit. And I guess the story behind it's really interesting. I won't talk too much about it, but the little boy had a sign. He was holding free hugs right out there, and there was the police officer that was on the beat that day. That was actually, there was a protest kind of going on and stuff, and he called him over there to talk, and all of a sudden they started to embrace, and the little boy started to cry. And anyway, what the photographer says about that is that it was the image that is starting to change things. That it went viral all over the internet. Mm-hmm. And what he said was that in the article that I've been told that this photo has become an icon of hope in regards to race in America, and it's just gone all over the internet. And what he says is that there's all of these other images are so negative and so horrible that this is the one that people are starting to really, be drawn to. And what he says is, and this is why I'm mentioning this, Martin Luther King said, and he's quoting him, says that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. He said, and I think that's what my photo has done. That's what the magic of love can do. And I love that, because see, that's what we're called to do. We're in this holiday season now, and I think each one of us is just like primed to be able to touch that light within us and go out and share the magic of love with each other, with our families, with people, that we wouldn't even think of doing it before, to be able to touch, let it touch your heart and take it out there. It's this is the time of year to do it, if we ever have done it before, is to do it now. When you leave here, find somebody that you can share this love with, because when this love is ignited in us, it can change the world, and that's what we're called to do. And I got to thinking about how each one of you, I watch how the magic of love works in your life. And it was so funny, I went to get the Advent candles last week, or a couple weeks ago, and I was in line at this store and watched kind of this incident. It was kind of interesting. There's a guy and two people ahead of me, and he came in and he said, I'm looking for a snow globe for my little grandson, this little guy, old guy, and about my age. And, just looked old, okay? but he asked me, and the clerk goes, oh, what, I have one, it's like $14.99, and he goes, with a purchase of $40, right? And the guy goes, oh, and I could tell, and so he goes, okay, thanks, and he walked off and he kind of looked around the store. Now the lady behind him had a big purchase, so she bought, her purchase, and then she said, put that snow globe in there. And she bought, the whole thing, and I'm kind of watching from the distance, the whole thing, and as she took, started to leave, they put the snow globe in her thing. She goes, oh no, take the snow globe out. She goes, and when he, find him and tell him, that Merry Christmas. And so she bought it for him. And I thought, wow, this is the kind of stuff, we concentrate on all the other stuff right in the world. We don't see those little things. So I made it an intention. I'm just going to open my heart and see this happening. And I'll tell you, I really invite you to do that, to see the good in your world. See what's going on. Don't, concentrate on all the stuff that is happening in the news, but find these things that happen that are so neat. It reminded me of the story, and I've always loved this, and I think Carolyn Mace told it in her book, about this apartment building that all these friends lived in together, and they were close, and then somehow one of the gentlemen lost his job and just, you know, he couldn't pay for the rent anymore, and he wouldn't take any money, and all the friends were trying to help him and, you know, let him, because he wanted him there, and they were trying to, you know, help, and he just couldn't do it, and he was working all these jobs. So what they did is they got together, and they all, every month, would get put a money order, so he couldn't take it back. He wouldn't know what to do, and they would just hide it, so he would find it. And I thought, wow, you know, that's what it's about. And it's not just about giving money, you know. I mean, these are the incidences that I'm talking about. But there's so much more. It's about sharing who you are, you know, and being able to share your light with others. You know, it was called The Story of the Mystery Money, and it always touched my heart. I read it a long time ago. But, you know, being able to share the magic of love is really just this magic of life. And when you can touch your heart by being, you know, there for another person, or being able to just, you know, love your life, you know, that's enough. Just by sharing, you know, who you are, you know, by being this positive light in the world. You know, I was, you know, when it rained last week, it was just pouring rain down, pouring and pouring, and I was at Disneyland of all things. And I was sick, and I was at Disneyland. I didn't want to go, but I had already promised my kids I'd take my grandkids. I would take them, and what happened is I said, okay, you know, let's get going and stuff, and I'm not in too great a mood to go, but I was trying to, you know, psych myself up. Oh, this will be fun, you know, we'll get our raincoats on and go. Well, they didn't even want to wear their raincoats, you know, they do what they want, okay? Their parents let them. So, anyway, we went to Disneyland, and oh boy, this big downpour came, and it was the cutest thing, though. It's like both of them, you know, their two little girls, one's 3 and one's 7, Lily and Ava. And they were running through the puddles. And at first I went, oh, you know, and I saw other people go like this, but they were stamping in them, and they were just having the best. And then I started to run out. And I said, what the heck? So we were running through Disneyland. It was pouring, and it was so much fun. I can't tell you, you know, it was just like I was a kid again. And it was a ball. And that's what I'm saying, is that I think that this was a magic of love too. You know, it was being able to just be open to life and let life move through you. And what happened is right after that was Thanksgiving, right? And so on Thanksgiving, I have to tell you this story because it was so funny. We had 25 people. We just had this huge Thanksgiving right at the house, and there was even people I didn't know. And there was one point when I was feeling kind of fun, you know, had a couple glasses of wine, and and I had you know, the Ready Whip, you know, that you spray and stuff. Well, I do this every so often, you know. I have my kids open their mouth, you know. I don't touch this thing, but I squirt it into there. And I saw one of the ladies, you know, just went like, you know, looked at me, you know, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she just thinks I'm this horrible mother, you know, or grandmother. And anyway, so at the end of that, she comes up to me and she said, you know what? She said, you're the best grandmother I've ever seen in my life. And I went, yeah, you know, and it was like, you know, that was the joy. You know what I'm saying? There's so much joy and love, and everybody was laughing, and it was so cool that I think that each of us have this ability to, I don't know, maybe not be as crazy as that, but just spread our love wherever we go. That's what Mother Teresa said. She said, wherever you go, you know, spread your love, and don't let anyone ever come to you without leaving happier. Isn't that beautiful? You know, does that work in your life? You know, can people come to you and then feel better because you've smiled at them, or you've even listened to them? You know, that's what compassionate listening is about. You know, just being better off because you've encountered them. You know, that's what life is about. You know, it's not about especially giving money and giving things, but it's about giving of yourself, your heart. You know, it's opening up. And I was thinking, you know, this season, you know, these holy days, holidays, is holy days. And I'm thinking about Daniel Nahmat's song that he sings, the last song, you know, is the world a little better because you're here? Didn't you love that song? And I think about that every day, you know, was the world a little better today because I was in it? And that's one of my invitations for this talk, is that, you know, can you say that the world's a little bit better by somebody that you touched today? And I think that you can. You know, I think all of us can, if we set that intention to be able to awaken that love light inside of us and to be able to open up. See, that's what love is about. It's about loving each other, but there's something even bigger. It's about agape love. Agape love is unconditional love. It's God's love. It's a higher love than just the love between two people. It's a love for life. And I think that it's our deeper nature. It's who we are, you know, this deepness that we are. And here's what Einstein said. And I like Einstein because he's got science. He says, Einstein said that our task is to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace the whole world. You know, to embrace the whole world by widening our circle of compassionate, being more compassionate. You know, this time of the year, it's kind of hard sometimes. It seems like it should be this loving time where we're just giving and stuff, but it's hard, you know, when you're rubbing up against families and things, you know, but being able to widen your circle of compassion, it's huge, you know, and he says it's the next step into our level of consciousness is compassion and connection with each other. And that's how we will create a better world, one encounter at a time. We don't have to do big things. We just have to encounter each other with love. You know, be open and share who we are. That's what community is about. That's what we're about here. You know, it's about just opening our heart to each other. And when things aren't always perfect, and they're not, communities, spiritual communities have, you know, ways of grading on each other sometimes. I know because I've encountered that, and I've had people come because there's been stuff going on. And that's when you work it out and you stay. And you let it touch your heart. And you let it wear you till your light shines. Till your light shines. You know, we are better off together than apart. You know, we need each other. That's what the power of love is about. You know, we can touch our essential nature better in community than we can alone. We are better together. We cultivate the feelings of well-being in a community together. That's how we function. We need companionship of like-minded souls. Like-minded souls. So these are the holy days. I love that. These are the holy days. Holy means coming together, whole, not part of us. When we are whole, it's our divine self and it's our human self together in the world. When we touch our light, we're touching both of those things. And that's my prayer for each of us, is that we touch our holiness, touch our holidayness, if you will, and then we share the magic of love with each other. Thank you.